Hello, hello. I think I've actually figured out StreamYard today. Thanks so much for tuning in with me today. We are talking about how to stop stealing, have social media stop stealing your time. And I originally titled this a little something different, but as I thought about it, I think one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs have is that we have such a long to-do list and we never have enough time to get it all done. And yet, we feel like we need to be posting on every network out there. One of the first questions that new clients ask me is, should I be posting on Facebook? Should I be on Instagram? Should I be here? Should I be where should I be? And they get so overwhelmed because there's so many opportunities out there for us to be sharing our message and sharing what we do that it can become a huge time suck. So we're going to talk about a little bit more about social media and how we should be using that as a tool in our toolbox, but really our end goal, our end strategy should be something a little different. So if we haven't met yet, I'm Elisa Connor. I own Elisa Connor Consulting, and I've been in this marketing guru world for well over 10 years on my own as an entrepreneur, and had corporate experience in marketing before that. What I do is I help entrepreneurs and small business owners, specifically in the executive coaching world, to clarify their message, create conversations, and build trust with all of their marketing, specifically email marketing, so that they can convert more people into clients and they can have a regular stream of revenue without having to work so hard. So if you are curious about marketing and about strategy and about how to create an online sales funnel that can be automated to bring in new leads and to nurture those leads so that you can get a little bit of your time back, you're in the right place. So just a quick announcement before we dive in. I will actually be doing a second live broadcast tomorrow, and we're going to talk about I just spaced out what we're talking about. We are going to talk about, the number one reason people are not clicking on your email links, because a lot of times you'll create an email and you'll put a lot of time into it, and it takes time to write it, and you may even get it opened. You may get through the spam filter, but then nobody clicks on your link. So if you're interested in that, tune in with me tomorrow. I'll be here same time, same station, and we're going to talk about that. In the meantime, let's get on to today's topic. So, as you know, there are billions of users on social media. And so it can be very tempting to build your business over there, whether it's on LinkedIn or if it's on YouTube or if it's on Facebook or if it's on TikTok or Instagram, whatever the latest fad is for your people. And I say that for your people because that's step number one, is you need to know who your people are and where they're hanging out. Because if you're just going around posting everywhere and your people aren't there, you're going to have a really hard time getting traction. But as we know, there are billions of users out there, and I just pulled some stats, just some generic stats. But in 2021, there were 665 million downloads of TikTok, and that is like the highest number of downloads for 2021 of any other platform. So there's a ton of people on TikTok. There's a ton of creators on TikTok. And what I see, the biggest mistake being for those people, it's very similar to what happened to the first YouTubers, is they're building these huge audiences on that platform. And they don't have a way to move those people off of that platform. Now, if you have a product per se, like say you're selling an actual product, you might have a pretty short sales funnel where you can send people directly to the link and they'll purchase that. So for example, if you're creating keychains and you want people to purchase your keychains and you just show how the keychains are made, you can send them directly to your shop link and they may purchase that. It's a smaller purchase and you're not needing to build such a strong relationship. But if you're selling a coaching package, usually coaching packages are a little bit higher priced. So there's more investment, both emotionally and financially, and the exchange for that investment needs to be a little higher as far as trust and building a relationship. So if you will go with me back to the day when YouTube and Facebook and all of those different platforms got their start, you had a lot of YouTube creators that would go and they'd build a platform and they'd have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers. Well, what happened was that in many cases, YouTube shut down those channels. And then those people had no way to create revenue because they were selling directly from the platform. And so I always advise clients and people that are in the entrepreneurial space to have a plan that moves your ideal clients and your potential customers off of social media as quickly as possible. And where do you move them? Well, there's a couple of places you can move them, but you want to move them to space that you own. So let's talk about that for a minute. When you're on social media, that is a rented space. You don't own space there. You could have as big of an audience as, some of the celebrities have out there. You could have hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of followers. But if you are on their space, that means you are not in control of that platform. Meaning, when they come in and change the rules, which they do constantly, you are at the mercy of those rule changes. And so let's look at what that looks like over time. So Facebook, it was an opportune place for you to go and build your business, and you could get a lot of traction with organic reach. You weren't having to pay for ads. You could get your product and your services and your posts and your content in front of people very, very easily. Then Facebook was like, hey, wait a minute, we need to start making money on this. And so they realized they held the basket with all the eggs in it, basically. And they decided they were going to start charging for advertising and giving those advertisers preferential treatment for showing up in the newsfeed. Now, if you don't believe me, look and see what's showing up in your newsfeed. Now, of course, there's algorithm changes in there too, but they're going to give preferential treatment to people that are paying their bills over somebody that's posting organically. That just makes business sense. Like, why would they not do that? You would do that in your business. And so when we're thinking about that, we have to kind of look out into the future and think, okay, so what are the next changes going to be? So right now, lots of people are over on TikTok and they're posting content and they're getting traction and they have advertising going. But at what point will TikTok go, hey, we got something here. We should change the rules. Or even on LinkedIn. Say you're on LinkedIn and you are, or even YouTube. Like if you watch any YouTube videos, you probably are fully aware at how often you are shown an advertisement. Well, besides, the longer that you're on that platform, the more advertisements you're going to see and the longer they are. That's because they know that they have your attention. You're showing up on the platform, you've been there for a while, and they're going to put as many advertisements in front of you with the opportunity to sell you something because they know you're staying there. And so at some point in the future, I would predict that they will change the rules again. And it's a pretty good prediction because it's been a regular occurrence since the beginning of social media. And so if that changes, and for example, let's use Facebook as an example, you can no longer post to your business page unless you pay to do that. And I'm not saying that's the case right now, but I'm saying there is a potential that they could change the rules to benefit them in that way. And so all that said, all that taken into consideration, one of the best ways you can take control of your audience and stay in front of them consistently on your terms is through email marketing. And the other place that I like to send people, which is not quite as in control, but is your website. You own your website and you own your social media, or you own your email marketing. And so if you put into your plan, your strategy for marketing to move people to your email list, then you have the ability to send an email to them when you want to, put new promotions and opportunities in front of them to share, recent announcements going on with your company, share industry news, whatever that might be for you. But you have the opportunity to show up in their inbox regularly, if for nothing else, to remind them of who you are, what you do, and that you're here when they're ready to buy. And so to move you out of the mindset that you need to be everywhere on social media, I would encourage you to focus on how can you move people to your email list. And because people are distracted when you're on social media, think about your last time that you were on social media, whether you're on LinkedIn or you're on Instagram or TikTok, you just do the finger scroll and you don't usually stop. And so moving forward, you can pretty much guarantee that that space is going to become more crowded. And then unless you're in the play to pay model, which as a business owner, you should seriously consider at some point to be investing in some sort of ads just to get traction. But ultimately, the goal should be to move people off of social media as soon as possible onto your email list. And the other piece of this is that not only are ad prices increasing because there's more competition, more people want to place ads, more people are using ads. But in addition to that, because there are so many privacy concerns with these social media platforms, and the public is now aware of them, your targeting is not as capable as it has been in the past. You have less targeting. You're not able to get as much traction with people in the way that targeting was done before, meaning you can't get specifically in front of your people as easily as you could in the past. And I fully expect that that will remain the same and probably increase in the future. So move people to your email list as soon as possible. And the fastest way to do that is by creating some sort of resource for them that they just can't say no to. And so that's one of the things that we talk about in my Email Breakthrough Academy. That's my signature program, and it actually opened yesterday. And it's open for a very limited time. It's only open until next Tuesday. But one of the things we talk about is how do you create a great lead generator so that you can start building your email list? Because a lot of people struggle with that. And they're like, they might have an opt-in on their website or a freebie or maybe a quiz, but then nobody's paying attention to it. Nobody's downloading it. And that can be really frustrating, especially if you spend a lot of time creating that resource. So if that's something you struggle with, or if your emails aren't getting opened, or you don't even know where to look to analyze your email marketing, those are all things that we talk about in the program. And I would love to have you go check it out. You can do that at elisaconnor.com / oh, I take that back. You can do that at Course Breakthrough Academy / EBA. And the link is in the description below this video. So in the meantime, do everything you can in your power to show up on social media and do that consistently and effectively, but keep in mind your long-term goal is to move people off of there as quickly as possible. And if you are already sending emails, but you're not seeing the traction that you would like to see with those emails, like maybe people aren't opening them, or they are opening them, they're not clicking them, or you're not getting people actually purchasing from your emails, then tune in tomorrow because we're going to talk about that click-through rate, the ominous click-through rate that people really struggle with. And that will be here on the same station at 10 a.m. So again, I'm Elisa Connor. I own Elisa Connor Consulting. And if you have comments or questions about email marketing, leave those below and I'll be happy to get back to you and answer those. In the meantime, have a great day. Take care and I'll talk to you soon.